be made part of the record. Gentleman from New York.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a quick question, if I could, for Mr. Fox. I represent the northernmost and westernmost headwaters of the Chesapeake Bay. And from the confluence of the Tioga, Chemungah, Cohocton rivers, one can kayak to the Susquehanna and all the way south, as millenniums worth of humankind have done. With that understanding and with the focus today that we're talking about agriculture, I'd like to place a marker, if I could, in those headwaters. For the first time ever, New York State is now considering a natural gas extraction process called chemical hydrofracking, which accesses the second largest natural gas field in the world, the North American Marcellus Shale, cutting from southern New York through most of central and western Pennsylvania and southward. Depending on where you drill, natural gas is available from a depth of 5,000 to 14,000 feet under the actual shale rock. Through a simple quirk of legislative legerdemain, the chemical hydrofracking process was exempt in the last energy bill passed in the previous administration from all controls of the Clean Water Act. We now know that the chemicals that are used to dissolve and dislocate the shale rock include some of the most carcinogenic chemical loads known to man, aromatic benzates, etc. I'm no chemical scientist, but I am a cancer survivor. So this is something of which I have some interest. The Finger Lakes in western New York State represent one of the largest depositories of fresh water in the world. In fact, Lake Seneca is 900 feet deep. There are those who have tried to tell me that drilling to a depth of 8,000 feet, injecting 1 million gallons of chemical-laced water, including at least in a 1 million gallon load, some 15 tons of known carcinogenic chemicals, will in no way affect groundwater because there's no commingling, to which I say bunk. Over the millennium in time, there's no doubt in my mind that the aquifer commingles across natural fissures occurring in shale. And so as a marker in this hearing, I would like to lay before you, Mr. Fox, and this administration, the fact that all that you are talking about doing now with agriculture, everything and every effort that has yet been undertaken to protect the Chesapeake Bay, is about to be for naught. And unless we understand very clearly what it is we're about to do in the name of extracting cheap natural gas, which I'm all in favor of, everybody would want to use natural gas from an American source rather than imported crude from our enemies, and make no doubt they are our enemies. Unless the provisions of the Clean Water Act are assigned to chemical hydrofracking, this hearing is useless. And in 20 years, it makes no difference how much cow urine we keep out of the Cohocton River. If we're pumping in tens of millions of gallons of hydrofracking solution to the northern Marcellus Shale. I would welcome the opportunity to speak with you and other representatives concerned with this one-on-one. I don't think that anyone yet has connected the dots. But if I throw a rubber ducky in the Cohocton River 3 blocks from my house, it will end up in the Chesapeake Bay. And if I pump 1 million gallons of chemically laced carcinogenic waters into the aquifer of western New York State, you're going to be drinking it in 20 to 30 years. Mr. Chairman, I yield back the balance of my time.
Gentleman, yield back the balance of his time. If anyone wants to comment, Fox.
I would just say thank you for that. That was a very articulate statement, and I'd be happy to follow up with you and make sure we get you in touch with the appropriate folks at EPA.
I don't think I'm out of bounds here, sir. I really don't. And I'm not, my personality, my public persona, and my politics are not one of being an off-the-chart, tree-hugging environmentalist. I'm a very pragmatic and practical person. But long after these drilling companies leave my hometown, and long after they've extracted the mineral wealth that lies underneath western New York State and shipped it overseas, because many of these companies are foreign owned, I'd like to be able to drink the water. And I don't know for sure that I'm going to be able to do that.
Thank you.
Chair thanks the gentleman, and also thanks our witnesses for their testimony today.